I don't think that we would have been able to do the project anyplace but Georgia. We started with Kentucky because of horses and horse farms, but actual depth of talent behind the camera, talent in front of the camera comes from Atlanta, and then the locations, the beauty.
Not to mention the landscape.
The beauty of Georgia.
First of all, I gotta say, shooting in Georgia is a blast. There's so many great locations, and we had so many different things we needed to find, and we'd find a barn, but we wouldn't find a ranch, or we'd find a ranch house, but we wouldn't find a lake. And then as we're driving along, we look up and we saw the Doggett Farm. And we were so lucky because the Doggett Farm is like a mini television studio. There's beautiful homes, multiple homes, all different, all unique. The houses at the Doggett Ranch had such a variety of architecture that we were able to turn one of the houses, the interior, into a high-rise apartment building. Try to do that on a farm.
What I loved about Atlanta is we really had two worlds, and we really wanted to juxtapose two worlds. We wanted to juxtapose they're in this modern city and then they get slapped into the country. And it's supposed to, we really wanted to feel the difference between the two. Well, so we were right there in Atlanta, beautiful, modern city. And what was really particularly great is it also had the country part. A lot of small towns have gotten built up, so it's hard to find that sweet small town feel. We had a very specific look in mind for our main character's house. We really wanted what Sean and I sort of call a hallmark house.
It's a family that owns this farm. And it wasn't just one farmhouse, there were like 5 farmhouses on this property. And it was quite expansive and surrounded by forest. It was really fantastic. We couldn't have asked for anything better.
I just knew at a little town like this, there was somewhere the original one-room schoolhouse for the area because I'm from a small town myself. Usually they get converted into houses, but we had our fingers crossed, and guess what? We searched around and we found it. And it's one of the sweetest scenes when they walk into this one-room schoolhouse and she's looking around. There's, kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade where she is.
Another location was the chapel church. We wanted a small, intimate church to film in, and there's lots of churches, but it takes a long time to find exactly the one you're looking for. And when we walked into the chapel church and the pastor took us around and showed us what was there, it was exactly what we were looking for. It's kind of a magical experience in the film industry when you're involved in a real location like a church. There's an energy and a spirit that's in the church that comes into the cast, and this church definitely brought that to us.
Donut shop was great, very accommodating. We got there early in the morning and filmed, before business really opened up, so that was in the spirit of cooperation kind of thing. All of these, these various locations were perfect because we needed that small town look, and we got it with Covington. It's a great little town. It's a very quaint little town, and it was really kind of perfect for our show.
We came to Georgia for a couple reasons, and to be honest, we scouted other states and even other countries. The production incentive is always something you have to consider. It doesn't matter if the look isn't right and if there isn't available crew, because those are the things you need. And once we came here, especially when we got this farm, we were ecstatic because it really changed our mind. We initially thought we were going to be building sets and doing all of this in a stage, and then when we found this location that had a lot of variety and we fell in love with it, it's easy to. We realized that we had to kind of abandon those original plans and shift to this other one because it was going to make ultimately the finished product a lot more believable. I don't think we could have done any better, quite honestly.
I would absolutely recommend it to a production company if they were looking for locations for everything. That's what's great about it. Like I said, there's city, there's country, there's lake, there's forest.
It's just been a terrific experience. I love the South. I love the people here. So impressed with what they have created here in terms of the film industry. It's really an amazing process, and so many people have moved here because of it. So kudos to Georgia.
Okay, so we're thumbs up on Georgia.
2.
2 thumbs up. We're 4 thumbs up on Georgia.